Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Harry Kane Moments card to review today. So, we're taking a look at a card that is 6'2", high work rates, 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Good base stuff to work with so far. In regards to in-game stuff for traits, he has team player leadership, so no finesse shot trait and no outside foot shot trait, which to be honest, he should at least have the finesse shot trait. His finesse shots are actually pretty nasty in real life. In regards to his in-games, he's got 87 acceleration with 92 sprint speed. Shooting on the card's got 99 attacking, position 99 finishing. The shooting on the card is basically essentially perfect. The long shots I don't really see myself doing too often because of the fact that long shots itself is not that effective, and he doesn't really have any of the traits for me to be able to utilize it anyways, right? So the fact that his base card stats for shooting is actually pretty good, is very solid. Passing for base card stats look great as well. We're improving it with the engine chemistry style mostly because we are improving the dribbling. The pace is a necessity, but the passing boosts are kind of like an extra, if anything, right? So the fact that he is getting passing boosts is nice because if he's going to be playing in the striker position as a lone striker or in a two-striker formation, could be a fun card to use. But the balance part of the card I feel like is going to be very important to increase because of his base card stats for 99 reactions and 96 ball control while also having 99 composure. So I think he has a lot of potential to maybe be able to dribble quickly in game, or not quickly, not like these dribblers that exist in this game, but in a usable manner, right? Like not like a flashback Chiellini or something, like a defender. So we'll see how he moves in game, but the dribbling boosts are very important for the chemistry style that we are giving him. In regards to physical in the card's great as well. Going to be a very huge part of his card too, with the 88 aggression, 95 strength, 98 stamina, with the boost to the pace as well. Very important. So this is the team that we're using. I was doing some objectives. I have the beast on the bench for the English finesse shots. But now that we have Harry Kane, we'll be able to line him up in different ways, right? So we're going to be using the 4-2-3-1 as one of the formations. We'll put this a 5 and 4. We're going to have... let's see here. So I'm kind of... Yeah, so we'll put Daniel James off to the left side. Bernardo Silva will play through the right side, and Harry Kane will be up top in the striker position without any instructions except for come back on defense. That's all I want to put on the card for now. The next thing that we're going to do is use him in a 4-4-2 setup where he'll be up top with Bruno Fernandes. So Bernardo Silva on the right side, Daniel James, Kevin De Bruyne, Conte, yes. The only instruction that I usually put for my two strikers when I play a 4-4-2 is usually stay central. Don't really change from that too often because I like to use formations that I can tell the characteristics of a player with, right? Like, I think for next year's game, if I ever do player reviews for players, they're not going to be done in division rivals because when you're playing division rivals and you're really focusing on playing the game itself, you're not really catching the characteristics of each individual card. So it's just better to be able to do that freely while analyzing what the card's going to do for you, right? Like, that's the whole point of the player reviews on this channel. It's not necessarily the results that we get. It's the characteristics of the player, so that way, when you put him in your team, you're going to be able to see those types of things, right? So it's very important to do that because sometimes I get a player that's new that I don't end up doing a review for, and I'm like, I need to see what he's doing because something's not right in this team. Sometimes people don't really know what's right and wrong and what they want their players to do. So it's very important to analyze that type of stuff. But for Harry Kane, player moments card, let's get into a game, see how he plays. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely work with that. It's actually a good team because he'll have Patrick Vieira and Conte as his CDMs or center mids. So should be able to test out the attack against that. Oh, I can tell you guys right off the bat, that dribbling is going to be an issue. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a usable striker for sure, but that characteristic, it's a combination of his dribbling and body that you'll definitely notice. It's things you see right away, right? But he could compensate for good dribbling, good positioning. We'll see what's up with that. This guy might be wasting my time. We'll see. A little run right there. Back into position, onside. Go on your weak foot. We'll put a little bit too much power behind that. It is a 4-star strike. I had a feeling this guy was going to waste my time because... Division Rivals is formatted like trash right now. But yeah, the dribbling part on the card, noticeable right away, boys. Okay, next one we're going to be facing is this guy should stay. I mean, if he doesn't stay, it'd be very questionable. Dude, why is every single person doing this right now? Oh my god, everyone's just wasting time in this game. Look at how they formatted this game. This is what people do in Division Rivals. They're going to do the same thing next year, man. His quick dribbles aren't actually that bad. Like, when he touches the ball, like, the touch and go movement is pretty solid. It's not bad at all. His dribbling is usable. It's still going to be sloppy for sure, like especially during this time of the game. Absolutely, but shot from that angle? Okay, good finish. See, that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, the thing about this card is the touch and go variable that he has, right? With players like this, that's kind of like how you have to play with them, right? Touch and go is basically just like first time touch, turn to the opposite direction really quickly. As long as he can do that really nicely with the finishing stats that he has for base card stats, then it looks pretty solid. Yeah, it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. It's still sloppy. It's still going to be his base characteristic, but, you know, it's not bad. I'll strike. Boom, dribble, under pressure. 4-star weak foot strike, near post. We scored that opportunity. Not doing any 1-2 plays. Good little movement right there. Ball roll, touch, finish. You know what? The thing is about this card is that I think he's compensating well enough for his base characteristics. Because obviously with a player like Harry Kane on your team, he's not necessarily anywhere near like a baby meta or meta, but it's definitely a very fun version of his card so far. Like, his movement is good. He is making those angled runs where he should be making it. He does actually move to the sides sometimes and then transitions into the middle instantly. So it's not bad so far. Like, again, with the dribbling, you'll always notice that base characteristic of his, especially under the very, very important situations. But it's a usable version of his card. If they did this to Andre Silva from Portugal, I'd be pretty happy about it. Yeah, so when I make a pass with him, he actually instantly makes the run. I like how fast he gets back into an onside position, too. Big fan of that as well. His utilization of empty space is pretty solid, too. It's not like super stagnant. Like, guys, trust me, I use a lot of strikers in this game. Sometimes they just don't move well, you know? Touch, 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 little touch, touch, touch. Near post angle. Not a bad strike. The ball kind of like lifted a certain way for it to not be super consistent right there. But it's not bad, boys. I'm telling you, it's actually an incredibly usable card. We'll make that pass, touch, touch again, touch, 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 touch. You know what's like really compensating really well for it? It's the dribbling stats that he has for base card stats. I believe it was like the 99 composure, or, you know, under pressure. It's very important for you to have like decent dribbling stats for you to be able to get past the opponent. He seems like he's okay at doing it. I am curious though. I kind of want to try him out on Stay Central. I hope he scores this actually. Oh, he scores a chip shot. Oh, I was gonna be surprised. I'm like, yo, chip shots are just the farthest thing from a flex in this game. This guy leaves the game, so that's fine. Okay, so balance instructions, not bad. The only thing that's noticeable is his dribbling, but it's not even that terrible. So it's just the base characteristics will always transfer over, you know? The thing that I want to personally see is whether or not he still continues to make those aggressive runs forward on Stay Central, because if he likes to push to the side and he can go right back into the middle easily, that would be amazing, because then his off-the-ball movement would be awesome because, you know, he has the finishing capabilities to be able to score the opportunity once he gets into the space. So if his runs are good, it'll be very important. But I do need to test him out on the Stay Central instruction. I think it's very, very important. And I think in a two-striker formation, if he is playing with somebody else also on Stay Central, there's a lot of potential there as well. All right, so let's switch to the 4-2-3-1 again. Let's see him on Stay Central. Positioning is pretty solid. He doesn't like overly commit in those situations on Stay Central. That's nice. Touch, touch, touch. Yeah. It's once you get to like the third touch, that's what you have to be careful of, right? Bernardo Silva on his right foot. Nicely done. Yeah, those ones you have to be careful of because, again, he's going to probably be like I would say like a Stay Central target man type striker where, again, his back will be towards the defenders, touch and go, touch and go. Like, that's kind of what you have to do with this card, right? Whether it's to go for a shot, whether it's to go for a pass, it's going to be a very important thing to do with a card like Harry Kane. I do like him when he's specifically playing central, but it kind of like ruins the movements that he kind of makes, because it's nice that he actually does push to the side, because it's not the side push that I want, it's the movement going back into the middle that I want, you know what I'm saying? So something to take into consideration. Follows that attacking AI pretty well right there. That one wasn't actually bad. It's tough to say though, man, because it's really going to depend on playstyle, because for me personally, Harry Kane, I don't know, like I like that when on balanced, he does make those movements to make it less predictable, but it's really going to just depend on your playstyle and what you want your player to do. But his attacking AI is pretty well. He does respond to the dribbles, not as quick as like the top meta cards, obviously, but he still responds to them pretty well. Yeah, I like him more on balance. It's weird. I guess because of my playstyle, like I just like the random movement constantly, you know? Makes the play less predictable, I guess. He's definitely more aggressive when he's on balance as well. Like he'll make those forward runs more often. Shot. Like I said, if you get the angle with him, his shooting will be really good. But you gotta get the angle with him. Like I said, you could see in that situation right there. Touch, 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 boom. Alright guys, so final verdict on the Harry Kane card. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, his dribbling really isn't that bad. For me personally, with the engine chemistry style, it actually does make the card incredibly usable, but I think there's very important things about this card that actually makes it usable in game. And I think 3 of those things is the reactions being a 99, ball control being a 96, and the composure being a 99. All of those things together, while you give the chemistry style boost for the balance boost and the dribbling boost, I think is very important in regards to making him incredibly usable. In regards to movement, it's really going to depend on you and what you want him to do, because I think he follows most of the instructions really well. Like any instruction you give him, he'll follow it really well. I feel like on balanced, it's probably the best instruction for me personally, because it makes his movement less predictable. He moves all over the pitch more often. He gets in behind more often, right? So it's really just going to depend on what you want your players to do. I do see this card actually being pretty solid to use in a 2-striker formation in a 4-4-2. Could definitely see him playing that well. As a lone striker, it's a little bit more tricky, because you kind of want your players to be a tad bit more responsive for you to be able to open up the space. But when you're next to somebody else, it's not necessarily as bad, because all you kind of have to do is work with the space and then score the opportunity. And because he does have good base shooting stats, it's not necessarily that bad. So his dribbling, didn't think it was that bad. His base characteristics of sloppy dribbling will still transfer over, but it actually feels like a usable version of himself. Shooting was great, obviously. Once he found the angle, his shots were actually pretty good, except for the first one, because the ball kind of like bounced a certain way. So once he got it on his 4-star weak foot, wasn't going to be great. So yeah, it's a usable version of his card. Definitely a cool gameplay content card to get, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.